for me, I don't get to tell Cam how to conduct business on his platforms.
Right.
I also don't get to tell him how to manage his relationships, whether they be personal or work. So I won't speak on that specifically. I'll speak about me, how I see what we control. What I control is I never want to be tied into no buffoonery.
Hey, what's up, guys? So the fallout from the Jason Whitlock interview is still ongoing, as this past weekend you had Ryan Clark respond to Cam Newton making a video about platforming Stephen A. Smith's sworn enemy. And now Stephen A. decided to respond back at Cam Newton, and I'm going to play you that clip right now.
It's 4th and 1. It's his platform. He owns and operates it. You want to get clicks, you want to get numbers, you want to build your cachet, your popularity, which is what you're in this business for, and that's what you want to do. That's your business. I ain't sweating it. Cam Newton said something. And what I'm going to say to Cam Newton respectfully, school's in session, bro. I need you to listen. Because you said something that should alarm everybody. This ain't the loyalty business. Who told you that? And respectfully, sir, speak for yourself. Now, let me be very, very clear to everybody. Cam is my man. I'm very proud of the job he's done on First Take. I'm very proud of his contribution to the show. You understand? I want him back, the whole bit. This ain't that kind of party. Cam and I have spoken. I am not saying anything to y'all, and I'm not about to say anything to y'all that I haven't already told Cam, okay? So let's be very, very clear about that as it pertains to the Whitlock interview. What I will say to you, however, is that I didn't see the earlier show or the latest show, whatever it was, when he was talking about this ain't the loyalty business. Fuck, it ain't. And here's what I mean by that. Cam Newton, you might say controversial things. You might get yourself in trouble. I'm not going to contribute to that trouble, bro. You end up in the police blotters. It's a story that can't be avoided. I got it. Something along those lines, I feel you. But what I'm not going to do is that. I'm not going to contribute to it. I'm not going to have somebody come on my platform, which, by the way, you're talking about the business we're in. You own your platform. I own this platform. I'll say what I want to say on this platform. I won't say what I don't want to say on this platform. I'll air on this platform what I want. I won't air what I don't want to air on this platform. I own it. You own it. So because you own it, what do you mean? It's not the loyalty business. Cam Newton, without mentioning any names. There are some cats doing podcasts and stuff like that. Personally, I don't even fuck with. I don't vibe with them like that. They've been accused of a lot of shit. I never said a word. I didn't pounce. If I pounced on the air, it would have went viral. I never said a word. Because I didn't want to do that to them. And they ain't even my friends. When you speak, you should speak the truth. But every truth ain't meant to be heard. There are an abundance of things that we could bring up all day, every day about Cam. You Cam. And it wouldn't be the best look. Dare I say, it would turn networks off. I don't revisit that. You my man. Period. Not doing that. Don't need to do that. Can get numbers without that. Gonna have success without that. Still gonna get a check without that. Don't need to do it. You come out your mouth for stuff recently. Unapologetically. When you've talked what you've talked about. As it pertains to women, for example. Didn't say a word. Because I'm not doing that to you. For the record, in Cam's defense, to anybody out there who thinks otherwise, Cam Newton did not bring Jason Whitlock on his podcast, his show, his YouTube show, to talk shit about me. Cam brought him on to talk about Cam and Jason Whitlock. And then after that portion of the conversation was done and the show was coming to an end, you have Jason Whitlock there, you know his history with me or the history he wants to lie about or whatever, and you asked him. It's no problem. I'll tell all of y'all out there what I told Cam. And by the way, this goes for his boy Peggy too, who owes me nothing. And I don't think Cam owes me anything either. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to ask about me, then ask. And grill him with questions. I didn't do this when I got a scholarship at Winston-Salem State. That happened 38 years ago. How would you know? I'm lying about my life story. How would you know? I didn't see anybody get shot and killed when I was growing up in Hollis, Queens in the 70s and 80s. How would you know? Is it too much to sit up there and say to somebody, yo, man, you can't just be coming on talking like that. Where's your facts? How do you know? That was my only issue with Cam. Nothing else. If you're going to let somebody talk shit about me, ask them. If they're going to talk shit about me, ask them. Grill them. Don't just sit there and let them talk shit. There is nobody that could come, and this is where Ryan Clark and I are aligned. There is no one that could come on this show and talk shit about any of y'all. Hold up. I'm a grill ass. And if you don't have any facts or whatever, it ain't going on the air. Or if it's going on the air, it's going to go on the air with me checking you for just bloating off at the mouth without having your facts straight. Period. I'm a fraud. I'm this. I'm that. Did you compare resumes? All you got to do is Google me. You're on a show that's been number one going on 14 years. He been canceled. Could bring that up. Never occurred to you that there's just jealousy all over the place. Because that's how much he's getting smoked in this industry. He bringing up stuff from 30, 40, 50 years ago. 40 years ago, rather. Like he got facts, which he don't. Like he ain't lying, which he was. But I'm saying, forget all that. Forget all of that. I'm 58. What about now? I don't play professional basketball. I didn't make a living doing basketball. I made a living being a beat writer, high school, college, pros, backup NBA columnist, 2023, 21st black columnist in the history of this country. He would know because he was one of them. He was a columnist too. I ain't taking nothing away from his resume. It just don't compare to mine. Because in television and radio, his ass has gotten smoked. Simple. One of the things that I forgot to mention that you could have brought up, Cam, Peggy, could have brought it up. Man, that brother might owe me money. Only time he does videos that resonate is when he's talking about me. Or Shannon Sharp, or Ryan Clark. Denigrating brothers at every turn. Only time he's getting ratings, getting numbers. And it's mostly me. Because we know there's an addiction when it comes to me. Can't stop talking about me. I'm trying to figure out when I called my lawyer. I said, shouldn't he be paying me money? As much as he talks about me, as much as he's riding my shit. Shouldn't he pay me? Look at the clicks that he generates when he's talking about me and compare them to when he's not. Those are things you could have easily picked up, Cam. So my issue wasn't with him being on your show and you talking to him. As I told, ladies and gentlemen, Cam and I have spoken. We're fine. I've told him this. I'm only sharing it with y'all because he has said what he's had to say. But the point is, all you had to do was ask questions. Instead of taking it at face value, putting it out there, and letting something live on your platform that's denigrating me with no pushback.
Okay, so that's what Stephen A. Smith had to say on the issue. And I kind of get where Stephen A. is coming from, because all he was asking from Cam was he should have checked Jason Whitlock on some of the claims he was making on his show, which is totally understandable. You can't just have anyone on your platform spewing whatever they want, especially about your friend. But having Whitlock on, I don't really see an issue with that. Again, I've said this many times, Jason has come at Cam so many times in the past, and 80% of that interview was Cam asking Jason about stuff that didn't even pertain to Stephen A. Smith. So with that said, what do you make of what Stephen A. Smith had to say about Cam Newton?